Why did you decide to talk with me?
I don't want this to happen to somebody else.
Greg Steffi and his wife Hope are suing the Stark County Sheriff, accusing deputies of using excessive and outrageous force, an allegation the sheriff denies. But Steffi says this video, shot by deputies and obtained by Channel 3 News, speaks for itself. This case got started with a call to 911 for help. Greg's wife was injured when a cousin assaulted her. When she had someone call the Stark County Sheriff, her troubles got worse. A lot worse. They say a deputy was confused when he arrived at the location where the attack occurred. They say he began treating the injured Steffi not as the victim, but as the troublemaker.
He proceeded to pick her up off the ground and slam her onto the ground.
Oddly enough, the sheriff's dash cam video wasn't turned on when all this was happening.
That's a big question.
The dash cam wasn't rolling until shortly before Steffi was placed in the back of the officer's squad car. And there's much the Steffi say happens before then and not caught on tape.
She can't breathe. She's down face first. She's got all the air out of her.
That portion of the video either doesn't exist or wasn't released to Steffi's lawyers. When Steffi is hauled to jail, she says they roughed her up again before they pinned her down on a cell floor and took off all her clothes. Again, the sheriff denies the allegation. But is there even more video missing?
We believe there's still videotape out there.
Check out jailhouse surveillance video. A deputy's handheld camera appears to be rolling as Steffi was escorted to a cell. Her lawyers never received any of this tape, which might show Steffi knocked to the ground again.
They knocked her knees out from behind her, and that she was face first. I'd like to know why they felt it was important to do that.
The sheriff again denies the allegation, but there's no denying what happened in the video that Steffi's lawyers did obtain. Both male and female deputies inside a cell forcibly removing Steffi's clothes, including her bra and underwear.
She was never asked, not once, during any period of time, to take off your clothes, please, that there's a reason why, it was for total humiliation.
The Steffis and their lawyers say this is clearly a strip search, and the sheriff has policy for this procedure.
I've got the Stark County Sheriff's Department policy on strip searches. It says, and I quote, "The officers conducting the search must be of the same sex as the prisoner." This is Stark County Sheriff's policy.
That's common policy everywhere. They violated their own policy.
The sheriff's office admits deputies left Steffi completely naked in the cell for 6 hours, but they deny this was a strip search. Hope Steffi was convicted on misdemeanor charges of resisting arrest and disorderly conduct, but most of the videos seen in this report was never shown at trial. Now the Steffis have evidence, and they want sheriff deputies held accountable.
It's just wrong that they do this to people. She called for help. She asked them for help, not for this. Not for this.
Now, the sheriff isn't talking because of the pending lawsuit, but he did say he feels they did everything by the book.
Police arrested more than 24 people at the Trump protest, including Democracy Now!'s own videographers, Tarina Nadura and Juan Carlos Davila, who were taken into custody as they attempted to film the protest. After being held for hours, they spoke last night about what happened.
My name is Tarina Nadura, and I'm working for Democracy Now! Tonight we were filming a protest against Donald Trump at Grand Central, and me and my colleague Juan Carlos was following these protesters near 42nd Street who are trying to get inside the Hyatt Hotel.
My name is Juan Carlos Davila. As we were crossing the bridge in front of the Grand Central Station, arrests started happening.
At the moment where Juan Carlos was filming the arrest of NYPD while they're beating up some of the protesters.
They have to be able to film. They have to be able to film. They have to be able to film. They have to be able to film.
I was holding my microphone, and Juan Carlos was holding the camera, and we have our badges on our neck, and we keep saying, press, First Amendment right, First Amendment right. And as we were saying this, they didn't care. They grabbed the camera off Juan Carlos' hand, and they grabbed the microphone off my hand, and they slammed us on the ground. And they said, you can't film here, you can't film here.
You have to move back. You have to move back. You're interfering. Put the camera down. Bring it down. All right. Put the camera down. Bring it down. All right.
The moment later, I saw Juan Carlos' face on the ground with dirt all over his forehead, and about 2 to 3 police officers were on top of him and handcuffing him.
They threw me to the ground, they slammed my head against the pavement, and they twisted my arm, and I mean my wrists are red, part of them are bleeding.
They took us here and put us in jail.
That was Tarina Nadura and Juan Carlos Davila, 2 Democracy Now! Journalists who were arrested by police last night as they were filming the arrests and the protests at the anti-Trump rally in New York City. In our last minute we have left, we're still with Robert Scheer. You wrote the book, They Know About Everything, how data collecting corporations and snooping government agencies are destroying democracy. What about this crackdown on journalists? They were arrested for 5 hours.
And the perversion of this war on terror has become a war on the American people. Local police departments now have Palantir, so does New York, L.A., mining data. This was formed by the CIA, not discussed. Local police department get heavy-duty equipment now. They're able to spy on movements, infiltrate movements with the new technology. Anybody who might dissent, we saw that in the crushing of the Occupy movement. It's quite ominous. And unfortunately, Democrats, Senator Dianne Feinstein, Barack Obama, have been instrumental in doing this. They have not protected our civil liberties. And as a result, the police can run wild. And that's what you saw there.
Juan, you know, you were calling in, I was calling in, Sam Alcoff, our video producer, was calling in and went down to get Tarina and Juan Carlos out of jail. Unacceptable that they were arrested last night.
Yes, it is, because clearly we need to have journalists in the field and in the streets to be able to present this information and these events to the public. So it's another sad day, unfortunately, when these young journalists and workers here for Democracy Now! Were arrested.
Robert Scheer, final comment. Again, your book, They Know Everything About You.
Yeah, look, we've accepted a surveillance state, an Orwellian state in which we are the enemy. We, being any whistleblower, any dissent. You know, Hillary Clinton can say that Edward Snowden's a traitor because he informed us what's going on. You have Microsoft now telling us the government won't even let us, Microsoft tell us they're snooping on our email. And so you have a surveillance society of vast proportions, technologically informed, great amount of data, and it can be used to intimidate the public. And what you saw attacking Democracy Now! Reporters is the pattern for the future.
I want to thank you, Robert Scheer, again, author of They Know Everything About You. That does it for our show. A very special thanks to the folks here at KCET Link in Los Angeles and to Kim Spencer. We're continuing our 100-city tour. Today we'll be at Skylight Books in Los Angeles and at Bookstore in Studio City tonight. I'll be on Bill Maher's show tonight on HBO. On Saturday we'll be in Santa Rosa, Willett, and Redway, and on Sunday in Davis, Chico, and Berkeley. Then we're on to Salt Lake City on Monday, Idaho Springs, Colorado, and Tuesday we'll be in Colorado. That does it for our broadcast. A special thanks to Tarina Nadura and Juan Carlos Davila, who are simply doing their jobs on the streets of New York last night. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. Thanks.
You protect the motherfucking wolves. No, you didn't hear me. You listening, but you didn't hear me. All right, whatever. Yeah, whatever the fuck else.